But item number 12 brings us a presentation of our investment report ending quarter ending December 31st, 2014 from Mr. Spencer Morrison.
Good evening, Mr. Vice Mayor and members of the council. I did short my presentation by probably about a half hour because I knew I was following the financial presentation out of the kindness of my heart. Tonight I do bring before you the Treasurer's Quarterly Investment Report for the quarter ending December 31st, 2014. And I do want to point out that the market value was $89.4 million, and of that, $85.7 million is city-held investments. I have a typo on this slide. It is actually a $21.5 million net increase from last quarter, and that's mostly due to a lot of our ups and downs of our holdings are due to all the work that's going through the Cedar Butte Flood Control Agency, big cash projects. So we have large expenditures and large reimbursements, $67.3 million in reimbursements over the quarter. We paid out $45.3 million, and if you remember last quarter, our investments were down because we paid out so much in the timing of all that. So we also had salaries and benefits of $8.7 million over that quarter, and that number is actually higher than usual because last year, the way the last payroll fell, we had a 27th payroll rather than the standard 26, and so this went through my boss for a little bit of a loop. She said there's no way it was that high, but I counted for her and showed her that no, it was really due to that 27th payroll. We had 5 investments mature or sell, and 6 were purchased. The yield of the investment sold was average of 0.65%, and the average yield of the investments purchased was 1.41%. The city-held composition is about 43% are made up of cash, very liquid investments. LAIF, Local Agency Investment Fund, is 23%, and cash and money market funds are about 20%. And the rest are made up, the other 57% is made up of agency bonds, U.S. Treasuries, state bonds, corporate bonds, and CDs. I added a slide just to remind the council and the public of the portfolio strategy and what it's looking like. You can see, kind of going back to the investments that we'd purchased and sold, you can see the trend where we're selling investments that have a lower yield, and we're buying investments that are going to have a higher yield expected. And so to do this, you can see on the large blue line on the top, we're actually holding on to investments longer to try to squeeze a little bit more yield out to get closer to the 1% average of yield. And so our average yield is just bumped up the red line. It's just bumped up to right about 1%. The average maturity is about 3 years. Our maximum allowed by law is 5 years, so we're really getting out there pretty far. And added a little orange line down at the bottom that shows you what LAIF is paying, and that is the Local Agency Investment Fund. That's the savings account that's run by the state, and it's very liquid. So we do want to have cash in there for projects and operating expenses. But it's currently the current yield as of this quarter was 0.27%. So we have, again, our overall investments were right about 0.99 or 1% of yield. And so it's good that we're not just all in LAIF at this time. And with that, I'll answer any questions that the council has.
Wow, that was extremely short and somewhat depressing.
It's the best news, sir.
But there's good news.
Thank you.
There is good news in that. It is going up. Just not where it ever used to be.
If we're paying interest, we want it low, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Any comments, questions from council for Spencer?
Yep, great job, Spencer.
Thank you very much. I know you work hard on this, and trying to keep us informed is always a challenge. But,
Thank you, sir. And that is a note and file, I might add.
Thank you very much.